Alright, so I'm gonna make a quick video here to go through filling out price list and or more than anything making a price list. When a company approves us, they likely just have an online ordering portal, and they do not have a physical price list that either A, they're willing to send us, or B, they actually have available for us. That does pose and create a few extra steps and challenges. It's definitely not something that stops us from identifying potentially profitable products. It just adds a little bit to our workload to try to get to that same end result. So uh, what you'll have um, is you'll actually have this price checker template. This price checker template has been created as a standard template so that to the best of our ability we can predict the information that is the output of price checker. The interesting thing about price checker too is that depending on how you input price list and information, it really determines how it comes out on the other end. Once it's run its numbers and identified products as it relates and compares to Amazon. If you input items and input price lists differently every single time, the output will always be different. That again, unfortunately, just makes things much more challenging. So what I've tried to do is create a standard template. Don't hesitate to, if you've got a really nice price list that a vendor sends, don't hesitate to run that. It's just going to again create a few more copy and paste scenarios where you can't just copy an entire row. Instead, you're probably going to go cell by cell. Again, that's okay, as long as I wouldn't suggest doing it every time. That just is extremely manual. But again, any way you're going about it is going to find the same end result. So that's what we're most concerned about, is if it's a little more manual because of whatever circumstance. Unfortunately, that's just the way it goes. If it is not manual and you can somehow fit it into this template so that the output is predictable, then that saves you a little bit of time. So again, both end results are the same though. Okay, so we've got this price checker template. I'm going to minimize this for now. So I've got Amcrest. We were just approved by Amcrest. They sent a portal, created a username and a password. I was a little bit skeptical just in terms of we got approved very, very quickly. I'll show you in a minute why I was a little bit skeptical. Not always does that matter. Just I kind of had a gut feeling, and I was wondering why did we get approved so quickly for more than anything a technology device, but more importantly something that's doing quite well right now on Amazon. So what I did is I went ahead and logged into their portal. All right, so I logged into their portal. I've filtered through the products. So this is kind of the login. Once I've logged in, to find products, a lot of times you get a drop down or it takes you to a page. So, they've got a lot of different products here, not all of which we would be interested in, but nonetheless. So in Zoho, we've got their Amazon store linked. I went ahead and clicked on the Amazon store. One of the tricks that you can do in this case, and I'm using ASIN, my Amazon Scout wasn't working, so you'll likely be using Amazon Scout, I would imagine. But kind of one of the tricks that you can do here to save yourself some time, because remember, the information we're looking for are things like the item description, case size. In this case, it's probably just going to be one per case, but the purchase price, wholesale price, then the retail. So some of this information can be pulled from this ASIN inspector that I've just pulled. I already pulled it up here. So that ASIN inspector kind of pulls that information for you, as well as Amazon Scout. AMZ Scout does the exact same thing. So again, it's all the same result, just different windows and just a slightly different way of looking at it. But you'll be using, like I said, AMZ Scout most likely. So I go ahead and pull. I'm just on Amcrest storefront. That's kind of like their home page on Amazon. I went ahead and pulled their information, and you see, this is why I was skeptical, because I knew that them being technology, security cameras, Wi-Fi related, you know, those are pretty in right now, and high dollar items. So, I mean, they're doing a couple products. They're doing, you know, 50,000 plus. There's one in here somewhere that's even like 120 grand a month that they're doing. So they've got some. Here it is. Yeah, they've got some enticing products. You know, if the prices match up. So what I definitely want to do here is, because they've got quite a few products, I want to see if I can load another page. Now, they might not be selling more products on Amazon, who knows? But I want to try to load another page. That way I really get a good glimpse and a good grasp of, you know, all their products, the top, whatever I feel in this case is normal. And, you know, if I get a sense like I do here that, you know, they might have quite a few products. I mean, it looks like they've got 10 pages. I don't know that all those 10 pages would represent Amcrest products, but that might give me some direction to make sure that I'm pulling more than just the you know, the standard 1 or 2 pages. A lot of times, what I'll do is, you know, if I've pulled the second page here, some things aren't loading. You know, the revenue it's starting to drop down a little bit. You know, I say that, but this is depending on the price. There's only 3 sellers selling this with us included. There's 2 there, but if we always have to include ourselves if we're the 3rd seller, you know, so we'd be dividing, I don't know, around $12,000 a month by 3. That's $4,000 of revenue per month. I don't know, maybe we're making $1,500 in total profit. You know, that's not too bad at all. We'll take that. That covers the rent check for the month. So nonetheless, you know, you just kind of have to go off of your gut. Now I see down here, look, if I hadn't pulled a second page, look what I would be missing. You've got listed on number 29. One of their products that sells $168,000 a month. There is 1 seller. My guess is that 1 seller is them. So we'd absolutely be going after that, and it's a good thing I pulled another page. And on that note, I'm going to pull another one. Let's see if it'll load another one. You know, want to get a serious snapshot here. I'm going to go through the effort and the time that it's going to take to pull in, to do the, you know, the price comparisons on their portal, to look at pricing, wholesale pricing, and I'm going to go through that whole very manual process. I want to do it all the right way one time. I don't want to do it more than one time if I can help it. So let's see. My guess is they've got some more high dollar items that just aren't listing in the top 20, 26 or on the first page. You'll get that a lot of times whenever it's a larger company too, and especially in the technology sector. You're always going to have these high dollar items that they might not be on the first, second, or third page, but just because people are looking for very specific items like these, it's possible that they could be on page 3 or 4 and still be doing quite well. So hold on one sec. Let's let this load. I think it's almost done. That's probably all I'll pull. You see that other than that $168,000, I mean, they're okay. 3 again, kind of do the math, divide by 4, you know, it's doable, but it all comes down to what are the wholesale prices. When I go to Amcrest wholesale site and I'm looking for a 2-pack of Amcrest Pro HD Wi-Fi security cameras, you know, if I'm not making $2 every time we sell them, then that's definitely not going to work. So again, as we've mentioned so many times, that it all comes down to the pricing. So, you know, this is a good idea. This is good though. I mean, look here, we've got 150 grand, 134. You know, three sellers. We'd be the 4th, and that's fantastic. So we'll just have to look and see what the pricing looks like, though. It could unfortunately not be as good as it looks at first glance. So what I'll do is I need to go up to the top here, and this one's a little bit funky, so I've got to select all. I think I can do, we'll do it this way. This is the way I know it works. So go down here to the drop down, export to XLS or to an Excel file. Okay. So, oh man. All right, so it's underneath my little record box that's off the screen there. I've got it. We'll pull it up. This is the main template. Let's get rid of this or not. So show you guys really quickly. So there you go. There's the extremely impressive and very, very dense list that I pulled. So the cool thing about this, just so you know what I'm doing, I always like to kind of organize things a little bit clearer for myself. Just makes it a little bit easier to see. Especially in a list like this, I often like to lock this top column. Not only that, wrap the text, center it. It just makes it so much easier for me personally. By all means, if it doesn't bother you, don't worry about it. So I will freeze the pane, keep top row, good. Let's make this a little bit different. Again, these are just kind of standard things I do every single time. Prior to diving deep, let's see what color we want. Fair enough, that sounds good. Prior to diving deep into this, I want to make it as user-friendly as I possibly can. You know, there's a lot of numbers here, and I've got to tell you that this process right here, if you or I or any of us are, you know, unfortunately not copying and pasting in the right information, and it runs through Price Checker, you know, again, we do have, you know, another check, a few checks and balances in terms of kind of making sure what gets all the way through prior to ordering is the right thing. But you know, it's possible we might miss something, and unfortunately it could have all started from whoever has copied and pasted the information originally. So just a reminder more than anything, just be very, very careful, methodical. Mistakes are going to happen. It's you know, it is what it is. That's not something that, you know, is unforgivable, but we want to try to eliminate and avoid those mistakes just as much as possible. So I'm opening the product name here a little bit more, just because these are longer names. Gonna make it a bit challenging for me to see what these things are, but what I will likely do is honestly, I'm probably just going to copy over what I need from here. I'm going to copy the whole list, because the good thing about Price Checker is it doesn't matter if, you know, number 5 right here, I'm just going to throw it out there. We're likely not going to buy a product like that has an estimated revenue of $600 a month. You know, it's just probably not something we're willing to take a risk on right now. But you know, that being said, Price Checker is going to actually automatically kind of sort them itself. So, you know, it's okay to put all of this information in, even if we're not going to buy it all. I mean, you're basically just doing this number right here. You're copying an entire row, or you're dragging and copying an entire row. It's all the same step. You're going to copy and paste anyway. So my suggestion, when you get anything out of ASIN or AMZ Scout, whatever we end up using, again, I think it'll be AMZ Scout, I just would pull everything in, because Price Checker, again, is fantastic at identifying products and giving you the data that you want to make decisions about passing them on to the next phase. So my suggestion, if you pull 1, 2, 3, 4 pages, doesn't matter, just copy them all in. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy them in. You know, I've got two screens here, so let's make this a little bit smaller. Let's make it more user-friendly for myself. You've got a row here, ASIN. ASIN is the coding that products on Amazon are identified and coded by, as opposed to essentially the UPC in retail. Predominantly is what items are coded by, but every product on Amazon has an ASIN. So the important things that I would suggest here, if you're going to do a mass copy, so I'm copying 2 down to whatever the last one is, just remember that, you know, it works if you copy 2 through 49 on every single column and every single row the exact same way. It will work out beautifully. If somehow you get off one cell, it's going to throw the entire thing off, and depending on what that is, it might not be caught. So that could be a really, really big issue. So just be very careful that if you're going to do the mass copy, which is totally fine and totally doable, like I said, not a problem. Just make sure that we're, again, we're working carefully with attention to detail. So I'm going to copy and paste these things. So this is the product name. So item or product description is actually where that would go. It's all kind of the same thing. So paste that in there. Notice how that jumps over, and that's not a big deal. All right, go back 1 second. Okay, Amcrest. So that's the brand name is Amcrest. That's good to add in, obviously, because when we get in these situations where you're probably you could be a lot of times running multiple different companies' price lists through at the same time, and that's totally okay. We just want to know, what brand is this, and from what price list did this item come? If it's not, all of these say Amcrest in the product description, but a lot of times it's not always going to be as simple as just looking at that product description. So, it's pretty important in terms of just collecting information, making sure that we just have, good notes, as I've mentioned so very many times, and just making sure that we're just really clear on what information is traveling through our systems. So this is an interesting one. A lot of times ASIN and other programs, especially AMZ Scout 2, they give you the buy box price, which is BB price, and then the lowest price new. In this case, I'm going to take the lowest price new because you have to think about it from this perspective. The buy box price is one price for sure, but the worst case scenario, a lot of times, is the lowest price new. If someone were to just click on the buy box price, they're going to get whatever the buy box price is. But if they're looking down below the buy box, they're going to see that there's other options. So I'm looking down and comparing these, and they're not so different that it worries me. So it gives me a pretty good snapshot. I mean, for most of these, they're all identical pricing. There was one I saw different. It was the top one, actually. So this one is different by about 20 cents, 23, 22 cents, maybe, something like that. So, look down. This one's a little bit different. Not a big deal, though. Not a big difference. So, in this case, because there are so many similarities, I'm going to go ahead and just copy the lowest price new. If the buy box price matched the lowest price identically for everyone, it doesn't matter which one you pull in, just so long as we're getting an accurate snapshot. We're under the mentality that we always would almost rather know kind of the worst case scenario, and that's really what's important. But again, I've done my comparison, so I know that this is going to work out just fine. On numbers, a lot of times with numbers, other than the ASIN because it's a little different, with numbers, I want to make sure that I paste the value. It brings it in a little bit nicer, and it makes it a little bit easier to work with, and it just makes sure that there's no formatting issues whenever I bring it in. I don't know what it's coded here, but yeah, I doubt that's going to be an issue when I run it through. So let's deal with this box. It's kind of annoying me. All right. Oh no. Okay. Uh-oh. Let's sort this out, or else it's going to be overlapping. So one of the things prior to ending this video that I want to do is, there we go. Okay, that's fine. I can handle that for now. So one of the things that I want to point out, and I'm not gonna go through on the video necessarily all of them. It's going to take too much time. Is the purchase wholesale price? Without this, we have no way of knowing whether this is a good or a bad option. And furthermore, Price Checker 2 will not be able to give us accurate information. So how will I find the case size, which tells me on Amazon, what is this selling as? It doesn't matter if we're buying 15 per case, Big Dreams. It doesn't matter if we're buying 6 in a pack. None of that matters actually. So how we buy these things, which I put a note here, how we buy these things does not matter. It does impact just us and our knowledge of if you know a case cost us $100, that buys us 6 of them. But you have to think about it as this. It does not matter how we buy them in terms of the wholesale price and the case size. Instead, what matters is how are we selling them, okay? So a lot of times you have to really do your research, all right? So if we're selling this as one item on Amazon, the case size would be 1 here. Let's say that we're buying an easier number, so 5, right? So let's say that we're buying from Amcrest, this manufacturer. We're buying a whole case, and in one case, you're buying 5 total products. So we buy one case and we get 5 of this little IP camera, okay? So we buy a case, they sell them as 5s, and that cost us $100, right? But you have to be very careful. This is going to skew and change and alter the information that Price Checker is reading. Because remember, Price Checker is actually comparing against Amazon. And if on Amazon, these are selling as individuals, this is not going to work. It's going to give us skewed information, and it's not going to give us an accurate portrayal of the pricing. So we have to change this. If we know that on Amazon, they're selling as individuals, but we buy them as packs of 5 at $100, you've got to do the math here. All right. So if I've got to find the individual price. So obviously, if it's $100 for 5, all we would have to do is divide 100 by 5 and get the individual price of $20. This is extremely important and probably the most important step in this entire spreadsheet. For Price Checker to work appropriately, for us to have an accurate representation of the data and an accurate representation of the pricing, this must be done with 100% accuracy. All right. So I want to take you through very quickly, just kind of, if I didn't, run through this, just how you would find this information. Let's just say that you had no clue how many of this camera were sold on Amazon, right? Maybe they sell them as a 2-pack. I saw something down here that it said a 2-pack. All right. Maybe they sell as a 2-pack, but we only buy as a 1-pack. I don't know. All right. So in any case where you cannot accurately find the information, where there might be conflicting information from the price list to Amazon, you have to do your research. You would have to copy the item description or the product, right? You would need to go back to Amazon. So let's get a brand new page here. I'd have to go look in Amazon and see, what is this selling as? We'll go to Amazon. What is it selling as? And furthermore, okay, what is it selling as? How am I buying it? And let's figure out what's the wholesale price. So let's look this up. It should, I copied and pasted it into Amazon. We're going to search and pull this. There we go. All right, so I can tell already, but if you want some further clarification, this is going to sell as a single. There might be multiple cameras in this pack, so we've got to make sure that, sometimes based on just the picture, you can't always tell. So this does appear to be a single camera. It's selling, the black is selling at $81.99. Now remember, the black color is what was pulled by ASIN. That tells me that the white and silver are not selling as well. The black is selling. Therefore, that's the product we are targeting, the black color. How do I know that? Remember, when I copied and pasted it in from ASIN, originally, the color came with it. So it was a black camera always that we were looking to. All right, so $81.99. It sells as a single. So $81.99 is the buy box price. I'll tell you just why I'm saying that out loud, but it sells as a single. So let's go back here. So the case size is still 1, right? Good, perfect. The wholesale price is obviously not $81.99. All right, this was the one that was slightly different. That's why you see $81.74 here, because this was the lowest price. But the buy box price is $81.99, so we're still good. So now I've got to figure out, all right, what's the wholesale price? So to find the wholesale price, I've got to go back to Amcrest, to their dealer portal. Okay, I've got to find. Yeah, you know what I'll probably do is I'll probably just search this. Let's grab this. We're running a little slow. Let's grab and copy this. Let's go here. I'm gonna search the store. Oh, it's gonna make me log back in. Hold on one second. But what I'll do is I'll actually just search the store for that product itself in the hopes that it pulls it up. And I know 100% with 100% confidence that I'm comparing the same products. You know, there are a lot of times are different versions of products within a company's catalog. You know, it just depends on how they if they have current models available, if they have older models. A lot of times on Amazon, you know, older models you'll see first, but on a dealer portal like this one, you're going to see a newer model. Okay, so we just have to be very, very careful. This appears to be the same one, but I need to make, again, I need to make sure that this is the same one. This is extremely important. If I were to think it was this one because it looks the same, that's $100. So I'll tell you right now, based on, remember, our buy box price, if I screwed that up, this would become automatically a disqualified product that we would not buy, because the wholesale price is $100, Amazon selling for $81. That would never work. So I've got to make sure, again, we have to make sure that we're doing a good job here. So I'm looking for Amcrest IP2M841. All right, there we go. Let's look. IP2M841. Now the B most likely stands for black, is my guess. So again, I'm just going off of common sense here. This is B, black. This one down here is B, black, B, black. So it appears that that's just their system and how they code it is B stands for black. Just as a process for you guys to go through. Let's say I want to, you know, again, a lot is riding on us not getting this wrong. If I were to go check out that theory and to compare it, look right here. This is their white, and this is a W. Okay, so again, with some time and just making sure we're doing things the right way, you'll avoid mistakes for sure. So this was it. So it is 76.49. 76.49. So I'm going to put in here 76.49. All right. I'll tell you right now that price won't work, but that's where I come into play. You will identify products and identify a list. And let's say you run a list and it appears that, I don't know, it appears that these products are making a ton of money on Amazon. But for whatever reason, when you run it through Price Checker, none of them appear to be good opportunities. That oftentimes has to do with the wholesale price that we're getting. So they're starting us at a specific wholesale tier, and they're not going to give you the best price, their best priced available, you know, right in the beginning. That would be something almost I'd have to kind of fight for on our behalf. So, you know, if you know that this is a good opportunity, and I know these are great opportunities for us for sure, but I also know that by the time that we pay Amazon fees for FBA, by the time that we receive them from the company, Amcrest themselves, and we pay shipping, and then shipping gets paid to the customer, you know, that's $5, if not more than $5. This product right here, just this one product, I can tell you right now, would be a product that's disqualified at this wholesale price. There's just not enough space. There's not enough margin in there for us to make money on this. Now, I know I'm assuming things, but just based on doing it enough, I know that this would be the case. So what I'll likely do, and what I would ask you to do in this particular instance, if you come across brands that they're crushing it, absolutely doing phenomenally well on Amazon, we're approved, but for some reason, once you've run their price list through Price Checker, there just aren't any opportunities. That would be something that I would want you to let me know. I will make a personal phone call to the company, to the rep, to whoever we're talking to, and to try to get us better pricing. All right, and that's something that I'll do whenever you come across it. I'll continue to fill out all this information, like I said, to go down and to try to find all of these different items on in their portal, likely by just simply searching them in the search bar, making sure that they match up. I'll put the information in my master template here for Price Checker, and then once I'm done with that, I'll go and I'll save it. Remember, you don't want to change the name of the template itself, but I'll go in and I'll rename it. Save as. We'll call this. I'll just do it to the desktop for now, but everything will go in Zoho and Google Drive. I'll call this Amcrest Price Checker template. You know, Amcrest is what I want to see first, so let's make sure that we do that. Boom. All right. I would have finished that, and then I'll just run that through Price Checker, which we'll be covering later. So, hope this was a helpful video. I know this is extremely important, so please watch this as many times as you need. This video could not be more important as it relates to pricing Price Checker 2 and qualifying or disqualifying products. All right?